Game 12, getting harder. Faced 1800 competition. This time, let's go with a French. All right. I'm going to see an exchange. No, we're not. All right, F3. Gonna help me trade off my bad bishop. Let's take with the queen. Oh, that was horrendous. Yeah, he could have played E5. Uh-oh. This is not a good French. Yeah, that was played poorly. Let's get some space and treat it like a King's Indian now. Okay. Bishop pair is mine. It's definitely a way to go. Let's see if we can't get some play. I was hoping for Queen C1, which is one of the main reasons I was focusing on something else over here. All right, still the pawn's going to be poisoned. That did nothing but help. He's in deep doo-doo now. Looking at Queen F2 check. Let's do that one. I didn't like Queen E5 as much because if Knight A3, Knight C4, that type of idea. I want to go ahead and grab the H pawn because I can. Let's do this. Figured. Bishop H2 check. Rook takes G4. King H1, Rook G1. Bishop H2 check, Rook takes. I mean, I'm going to try it because it looks at least interesting. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. We'll go with my secondary idea. Just improve the position. And that was the idea. Come on, Rook E1. Love it when you call it. Okay. So that was one of the worst games I've played so far. After writing a book on the French, you'd think I could do better, but when somebody's playing 2F3, you know, and then Bishop B5 check, it just really, I'm like, get rid of the bad bishop, and then here he just plays E5, and I got to play Knight G8, and then we can transpose to a normal game. But then Here, he should play bishop g5, and the d5 pawn's weak. But he messed around and gave me a few tempi, and now we're in like a really ridiculous King's Indian structure. And he allowed me to get a dynamic which is very, very strong here, that this pawn is very difficult to get rid of. It's a bone in the throat. And when he played f5, I took a second to figure out how I can really exploit the fact that I know he's going to go after this. It's an itch. So queen c1, knight d4. He can't play queen takes e3 because of knight takes c2, and then attacks the queen and the rook. So rook e1, when I take here, he's going to be losing a pawn. I'm going to have a big attack. But then he makes matters even worse by taking there. Now I'm threatening all kinds of stuff. So I go ahead and take this pawn. And I go for this bishop h2 check because the idea is if rook takes h2, rook takes g4, regardless of where the king moves, well, he's got to go to h1. I'm going to have rook g1, and after king takes, queen takes f5. And I'm going to win the queen for the rook and bishop. So he goes king f1. So then it gets me back to an idea that's going to be forcing. Same idea, but I'm going to play rook g6 first, figuring a move like knight a3 would happen, and then king e7. This is multi-purpose because the king's completely safe. I have the ability to swing the rook over to keep attacking, or to defend f7 if need be. And I'm going to have the idea, still the same idea with bishop h2, except I'll have rook f6 if he repeats the same thing from earlier with king f1, which he did. And this was a nice clean game from the stem of these ideas that came out of a completely different opening. Another one.